Shedeur Sanders, Dillon Gabriel open up about scandalous beef. Here's what happened. Cleveland Browns QB Dillon Gabriel's comments after his preseason debut against the Philadelphia Eagles were perceived as a dig at teammate Shedeur Sanders. Dillon Gabriel's remark about entertainers and players is not dying down, at least with the press. However, now both Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, fellow Cleveland Browns teammate at whom the comment was perceived to be directed, have addressed the supposed beef brewing between the two. What Shedeur Sanders said. Speaking to the press, Sanders said he didn't pay much heed to it, and at this point he felt words could not do anything to him. He came up to me on the plane, Sanders explained, stating how Gabriel set the record straight with him. With a smile on his face, Sanders continued, regardless of whatever it was, he didn't let anything affect him. He is then asked on camera if he believed teammate Gabriel. Sanders replies, "I feel like you're trying to start something there," referring to the person asking the question, perhaps attempting to stoke rumors of the beef between the Browns' teammates. The clip was shared by ESPN's Cleveland Browns reporter Daniel Oyefusi. Gabriel and Sanders are both quarterbacks for Cleveland Browns. Dillon Gabriel's comment and how the beef started. It all began during the preseason game against the Philadelphia Eagles, where Gabriel debuted as the quarterback. During an in-game remark, he said, "Yeah, it's just part of it. You know, there's entertainers and there's competitors, and I totally understand that. But my job is to compete. And that's what I'm focused on doing." The entertainer's remark was perceived by those online to be a dig at Sanders, son of legendary NFL player Deion Sanders, who was selected 2 rounds after Gabriel, but has been more in the spotlight. Since then, Gabriel has clarified that his remarks were aimed at the media, who he wanted to label entertainers and not Sanders. "Yeah, first off, I'm all about our team and each other. I would never make that comment about Sanders, and I've said it before, that's why it's interesting. But for me, I've explained it, entertainers are you all, competitor, that's what I am, and all my teammates, and we both have jobs to do, so that's it," he said. They didn't pick a podium or some smoky backroom to hash it out. They chose a folding table at a community center on the east side, under a banner for a youth literacy drive. 2 microphones, a pitcher of lemon water, kids in Browns and Titans jerseys pretending not to stare. Shedeur Sanders arrived first, hoodie up, that calm that acts like armor. Dillon Gabriel came in smiling, the practiced looseness of a quarterback who's learned to keep his shoulders and stories loose. "Let's just tell it," Dillon said, like a coach calling mesh on 3RD and 4. Here's what happened. It started with a clip. It always starts with a clip. A spring practice, a handshake missed at midfield, a camera pointed at the exact second 2 quarterbacks looked in opposite directions. Someone slowed it down, circled 3 frames, and called it a snub. 3 million views later, the word beef had been seasoned, marinated, and grilled by accounts with cartoon avatars. But the clip was only a match. The tinder had been drying for weeks. Brand deals, watch shots, nil shadows, that gumbo of swagger and expectation that follows young quarterbacks like a marching band. When a reporter asked Shedeur, after a preseason series, whether Dillon's tempo made the offense look faster, he raised an eyebrow and said, "I don't clock people. I read defenses. Clean but clipped. The beat wrote itself, friction." What nobody saw was the group text. The two had been trading memes for months. Puns so bad they threatened state lines, clips of vintage footwork, clips of vintage mistakes. After the handshake clip spread, Dillon typed, "You good?" Shedeur replied with a shrug emoji, and a screenshot of his own face paused mid-blink. "Beef is just blink propaganda," he joked. They moved on. Then came the charity 7-on-7, a humid afternoon baked into heat haze. Their camps had co-hosted it. A teenage corner picked Shedeur and backpedaled into a backflip. Dillon laughed. A sideline mic caught it, trimmed out the next sentence, and posted, "DG laughs at Shedeur getting picked." The unposted sentence was, "Kids about to get offers." Context mangled. Another bonfire. So they sat at the folding table to pull the threads straight. Shedeur leaned into the mic. "Truth is, I was mad," he said. Not at him. At the idea that somebody gets to narrate our routine like it's a reality show. Quarterbacks live on schedule. Everything about your day is reads and rhythm. When the conversation leaves football, the tempo's wrong. Dillon nodded. "I've always played with a chip," he said. "But sometimes I hear noise and think the chip is a boulder. I saw the clip, saw the comments, and I let it get in my head for a day. I thought, he's not rocking with me. Then I checked my phone, and there's a video from Shedeur breaking down my footwork on a glance route. telling me to drop my back foot sooner, so the ball's out on time. That's not beef. That's coaching. The kids in the front row stopped pretending not to listen. One of them raised a hand. So, there was no fight? He asked, disappointed in the way only a 10-year-old can be when denied a soap opera. Shedeur grinned. We argued once, he said. About wristbands. Dillon laughed. He thinks you put too many plays on them, you play slow. And he thinks if you don't have enough, Shedeur said, you end up drawing routes in the dirt. It was a whole thing, Dillon said. We almost had to call a timeout. They waved to the back, where a trainer leaned in the doorway, arms crossed, the referee of 100 tiny debates. What none of the clips showed was how much of quarterbacking is collaboration disguised as competition. Two guys fighting for reps still live in the same storm. Protections, fronts, terminologies, the small daily puzzle of making the offense sing. Here's where it turned, Dillon said, and the room leaned closer. 2 weeks ago, I missed a backside dig by a yard. We get to the sideline and I'm heated, because I knew it before it left my hand. He taps my knee and says, throw the landmark, not the player. He'll meet you. Simple. Fixed it next series. Shedeur glanced at him. Next day I got greedy on a seam shot, he said. Tried to put a little extra on it. Drove my oblique into a complaint. I'm frustrated. He walks by and goes, you can't PR your rib cage. Which is polite for stop lying to your body, bro. They let that sit. The scandal, it turned out, was just two athletes learning how to disagree without detonating. And learning how to let the world mislabel you for a news cycle without acting like the label is a tattoo. But also, Shedeur added, I like to talk. I'm not going to pretend I don't. Sometimes the shades stay on. Sometimes we flex. He's cool with that. I'm cool with him being a robot about his routine. The league is big enough for both frequencies. And the offense is better for it, Dillon said. He sees angles I don't, because he's lived a different football lifetime. I bring something else because I've had to learn 3 languages for the same position. We fight, but it's for the same yards. A reporter in the back, because there are always reporters in the back, asked the question wrapped in a smirk. So there's no scandal to sell?